Alright guys, good evening. Welcome to another stream of U-Boat, my favorite submarine simulation. So, I am. We just see if all the settings are alright. Yeah, looks fine. Changed some things in my streaming software because I did stream another game yesterday, DayZ actually. But tonight we are back to U-Boat. Pretty much like both of these games, but yeah, lately I was mainly streaming U-Boat, so yesterday just a short dip into DayZ again. Welcome guys, good evening. Let's take a brief look at the situation. We are on the other side of the Atlantic. Ahead, yeah. Offshore of Canada. So we did all the travel across the Atlantic. Yeah, we are at 65% of fuel, so we still have a bit of fuel left to patrol, but we have to keep an eye on the fuel status so that we turn back home in time. At the moment it looks like we don't have the milk cow, the supply ship, available yet, but we should have it available within the next days. Let's hope for the best. Maybe we can even use it on this mission. We are doing the Operation Drumbeat. And yeah, so next milestone would be having sunk 50,000 tons around here in this area. Here, this is the quadrants given where a sunk tonnage actually counts for this set of missions. So you see we already have sunk one ship, so we are half through. It was a lone transport, and now we are going for this relatively fast moving ship. But yeah, we had the contact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we actually got the contact with the hydrophone. Now that we are here, would have expected to have them. And we already did one hydrophone check, but yeah, didn't get them on the hydrophone. Problem is that we do have pretty bad weather, which means that we have rather limited hydrophone range even when we are submerged. All that noise on the surface reduces our hydrophone range. So, but let's go for that direction, just for a little while. And then, sooner or later, I would like to do another hydrophone check. That's all that we can do. Of course, it might be that the ship changed course or was sunk by another German submarine, or we just weren't able to figure out where it is. So guys, please give me another hydrophone check. Which means all the crew running through to the front compartment, at least the off-watch crew. Mr. Grad is just about to open the valves. These two guys have manned the depth steers. Here we are, you see, opening the valves. That was pretty fast, surprisingly fast. Oh, the ballast tank was actually filled with water. And that was a bit funny how fast it was. Maybe kind of a graphical something. So here we are going down. Here we have a bit of water in the bilge. Well, it is uncritical. When we're back to the surface, I should turn on the pump briefly. Down we go, Mr. Hinrich at the hydrophone with Mr. Vogel as support. Let's take a look here. You see, this is the range that we cover now. Yeah, it will be a bit more when we have reached 50 meters or the limit. Yeah, the crew doesn't go down to 50 meters for the hydrophone check because it's relatively shallow around here. So did they stop the engines already?
Aktuelle Tiefe 30 Meter.
Yeah, I think they did. So, yeah, such a bad weather. 25 knots of wind speed. Such a gale. So we really just have a detection radius of a bit more than 20 miles. So, hard to say if that target is still around here or whether it already passed by. So what I could do is following that course with just exactly 13 knots and wait for better weather. So assuming that I might be relatively close to them and just following them on a parallel course. And as long as it is nighttime and such a bad weather, also on the surface we would have no chance to spot the guys. Thinking a vessel would actually count. So let's just go straight back. Get to the surface. It's still pitch black night out there, as long as no lightning is lighting the scene. There we are. And the battery capacity is going down, so let's go to cruise speed, because at maximum speed, at flank speed, we can't reload the accumulators, batteries. Yeah, we have to sink at least one more ship to fulfill this mission. By the way, let's turn on the pump briefly. So that's it. It's not like you turn it on by yourself, click it and it works, but some sailor gets the order and is going to turn on the pump. It just happened, and so now he's going to turn it off again when the bilge is empty. So it's quite nice. You don't have too much micromanagement. Feels kind of realistic. South Sea and a bit of the Atlantic. Yeah, quite successful. So sooner or later we got promoted and got command of the Type 7, and that's the ship that we have now. Meanwhile, it's upgraded to the 7C, and we changed our base to the port of La Rochelle, which gives us much better access to the Atlantic than Wilhelmshaven. And after having finished the Black Pit mission a few days ago, we got the reward of a milk cow. Only point is that we only can place it when the next development project is finished. We somehow need a free slot here to place the milk cow. Yeah, actually this big support U-boat submarine where we can get fuel refueled and restored. Let's have the captain on watch, but you see we have really minimum visible range, so pretty low probability to spot anything. It's even less than a mile of visibility, so sooner or later we are going to do another hydrophone check. But now let's accelerate time a bit until we are back in the area, and let's do one more hydrophone check now.
Tauchen auf 35 Meter.
But I think we lost that guy. Don't think that we find it again. Yeah, let's see. Again, diving. Okay, this time flooding of the ballast tank is not that fast, more realistic. Well, that was kind of bad again, pretty fast. And down we go again. Mr. Hinrich.
Wie lauten Ihre
And the
Befehle, Herr
hydrophone
Kavoi?
this time.
Ja,
20 Meter. Meter.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 30 Meter.
Yeah, if we don't hear something with the hydrophone right now, then they're just gone. Might be that they even have been sunk by another German submarine.
25 Meter.
Yeah, BB. CA, CB. So, okay, this is CA. CB. BABB. Okay, all that area. BABB, all right. And what else? DADBDC. Where is D? Okay,
35 Meter.
all along the coast. DA, DB, DC. Yep, okay. That's an enormous area. But yeah, at the moment our job is to patrol this area here.
30 Meter. Herr Kapitän,
Yeah, no contacts at the moment. Hi guys! Just saw the number of viewers flipping up. Nice to have you in. Welcome. Hope you have fun. Hope you had a good week up to now. So it's almost Friday. Yeah, if I look at the time around here, local time, it is actually Friday already since 14 minutes. No, a bit of patience again. And still 25 knots up there. But yeah, well, it's still winter or spring. Early spring, yeah, might bring some storms. Just as well as the winter does.
Pedoror 2 gewartet.
So still might be 2 more months until we get, at least at average, a little bit more friendly weather around here in the northern Atlantic. Yeah, for the watchers, people who might watch this on YouTube, please, yeah, excuse me for that small window, but that's all that I can do with my amateur streaming software. I just found out that I could share or do a dual stream, so my main streaming platform actually is Twitch, and streaming platform actually is Twitch. And there we have the whole thing in
Tiefe,
the
25
large window format, and there you can also participate in the chat. And well, the latter you could also do on YouTube. I just saw that people on YouTube tend not to put comments into the chat, obviously. Nevertheless, great to have you in.
Wir sind aufgetaucht.
And if you look on a mobile device, this might be alright. But probably if you have it on a big screen, it might be a bit annoying. Sorry for that, but I can't do more at the moment. So I do this just to let you know that I am doing this. Yeah, back to the surface. And
Kurs setzen.
yeah, let's get going there. Yeah, just ordinary cruise speed. The batteries are full. Fuel 64%. How much took it to get out here? I think it was 35, yeah, 40 Latest when we are down to 40, we should go back home if we want to get back home safe with the fuel that we have.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, so let's do a little bit of time acceleration. And carry on till 6 o'clock. Or is it 6 o'clock? Do we have some hint of daylight? Yeah, no, not in this storm. Nothing, really nothing to be seen except for, yeah, the brief periods of lighting the scene. Yeah, I am playing on high realism level, and part of it is that I'm playing with Dark Knights, and yeah, they are dark, realistically dark. So let's go for 10 o'clock and
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
okay, now the sun is up and the weather has considerably improved. Nice. And there's still quite a wave going. See that? Very nice, isn't it? I love these views. Yeah, look at these diamond sparks in the spray and on the waves. Isn't that amazing how they actually do this in the game? By the way, let me save once. W180. Better safe than sorry. And on we go. Wow, that's so great. If I look at that, I really taste the salt on my lips and feel the dampness of the spray, of the salty spray in my hair. That's so beautiful how they actually do the graphical implementation of everything. Now another hydrophone check, please, guys.
35 Meter.
So again, the crew dashing for the front compartment, the off-watch crew, and the watch crew. Yeah, Mr. Grada opening the valves. Two guys off the watch actually manning the depth steers. And there we go, flooding the ballast tank. That's really fast.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Hi guys, great to have you in the stream. Hope you're fine and hope that everything is adjusted correctly.
Auf E-Motorenwechsel.
There are a few settings that I change when I stream other games. And yesterday I did stream a bit of DayZ. So I just hope that I didn't forget to switch anything back so that the stream is
25 Meter.
in the used quality, hopefully. If not, please complain in the chat. Mr. Schneider, he's mainly caring for the maintenance of the torpedoes, and right now he's doing the torpedo tube 1. Down we go.
Aktuelle Tiefe 30 Meter. Melden Sie mir die aktuelle Tiefenmessung.
So somebody should take one reading of the depth.
Tiefe unter Kiel 3, 8 Meter.
Okay. But because it's relatively shallow here, the crew doesn't bring the boat to the standard 50 meters of depth, but we stay up here.
35 Meter.
Herr Kapitän?
Now please, Mr. Preed, and supported by Mr. Reitenbach. Tell me just anything. Now we should, yeah. The wind has calmed down to 9 knots. And you see now we have a detection range with the hydrophone down here of more than 90 miles. While remember back at the night when there was this storm up there, we had a range of only 20 miles. So that really matters. That really makes a difference.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Yeah, hi guys. Good evening. Nice to have you in the stream. As usual, I'm always happy to get some feedbacks in the chat. And if it is only a hi, or any comments on the gameplay, or on the game, or whatsoever, what your experiences are. But don't feel pushed. Perfectly fine if you just watch anonymously, as I used to say.
Herr Kapitän?
Yeah, still no contact. Yeah, we do have a bit of time pressure actually. We cannot infinitely roam these waters because we are sooner or later gonna run out of fuel. Fuel level down to 63%. Fingers crossed that we run into some decent prey. Yeah, this standard workflow of hydrophone check lets the crew stay down here with engines turned off and hydrophone listening for 5 minutes, and then the crew will bring the boat gap back to the surface without particular order. So this is also some nice feature that prevents you as a captain from doing all the micromanagement. So the crew is trained to actually do these things as standard maneuvers, which is pretty realistic. And that's, yeah, generally the game feels pretty realistic because exactly these things are automated or put into standard procedures, which you would probably have in such a way handled on a ship. Yeah, because in simulations that's always kind of the trade-off. And the beautiful thing here is in the submarine you have the crew, and the crew is really alive. That's why I would also call this a role-play game, actually. Alright, there we go, back to the surface. By the way, let's check what about our galley stores. Yeah, we do have plenty of food. That's not limiting. The limiting factor will more be the fuel. But talking about that, discipline is still high at 99%. We have a fatigue of -1. That's because the last shore leave is some time ago, but that's uncritical. I used to let the fatigue go down to 10 or minus 10 or 12 or something before I sent the crew to another shore leave. Yeah, the sun is up. And let's accelerate time for another few hours. There we
Herr
go.
Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
$5 There's still plenty of daylight at 5 o'clock. Let's continue till 6 o'clock and then do another hydrophone check.
Navigation besetzen. Bestätige.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Ja. Navigation besetzen.
So come on, let's do another
Tauchen auf.
hydrophone check, guys.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Yeah, it always takes a while until the crew actually gets the boat ready for diving, but there we go.
5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
There we go. Yeah, this behavior of the boat, the movement of the boat in the water also looks, feels very realistic as far as I could judge. Of course, I never sailed in a submarine, but yeah, it looks kind of physically correct.
Aktuelle Tiefe 40 Meter.
40 meters. We are going down to 50 meters, so it looks like it's a bit deeper around here. 100 to 200 meters. Alright. Now again, hydrophone check.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
94
50 Meter.
meters. So guys, please, fingers crossed, keep fingers crossed for us that we get some contacts. Of course, the last resort would be that we get into that port and sink ships
45
which
Meter.
might be moored there. It should be in range. Maybe let's do it like that. Let's go there, and if we don't find any ships via hydrophone checks until we reach that area, we just go in and see if we can sink 1 or 2 ships in port. They wouldn't expect it, I guess. I hope.
Meter.
Ja?
So there's nothing, no contact at the moment. Yeah, nothing, obviously. Let's accelerate time a bit. Hey, Capital Cosmos. Nice to have you in. Good evening. Yep, it's a long way to Tipperary. Exactly. That's it. Yeah, nice to have you in. I'm always happy to have some comments in the chat. So how are you doing? Hope you had a good week. And yeah, I hope that you have a quiet day tomorrow to smoothly slip into the weekend. Almost over, yep, that's the point. Yeah, job-wise, I do have a bit of a tough program tomorrow, but I can start it a little bit later, so that's why I can do the stream. Gotta sleep a little bit longer tomorrow, but then, yeah. Well, let's not talk about that. By the way, I'm always curious. Are you playing the game by yourself? Are you a pro or just a rookie or just somebody who plays the game since a while like me, not pretending to be a pro? Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah.
20 Meter.
Hey, okay. Well, I would warmly recommend it. Yeah, I also played 3 and 4,
Wir sind aufgetaucht.
but not since a while. And yeah, I think you would love this game here. It's really worth the money, And if you consider that you are not throwing the money into the throats of some big company, but just a small bunch of programmers. Yeah, and I think it's a relatively new approach to how it is represented graphically, right? In this cross-section thingy. And at the beginning I first thought it might be a bit awkward, but now I love it. And what you even can do is go into the first person like that. But yeah, I guess you're not looking at the game for the first time, probably. Yeah, Mr. Schneider, he's always caring for the maintenance of the torpedoes.
Torpedo
No.
gewartet.
Yeah, that best viewers shit again. I am perfectly happy with my viewers. So, the officers' bunks, officers' mess, like listening and radio station, and the comfortable area of the captain. Here we are. Operation Central, helmsman, some guys leaning over the map, trying to improve our navigation correctness. Petty officers mess, galley, and yeah, the big baby. Yeah, isn't it? I really love it. And here, that's the compressor. It's still running because we just ended a hydrophone check. The compressor's running to refill the compressed air resources. Yeah, there is even a game mode where you can do everything in first person, but even the developers don't recommend that yet. So I guess it would be a bit awkward, but I am thinking about sooner or later trying to do a playthrough in first person, but yeah, as I said, even the developers are still skeptical about if it is really playable in first person only. Yeah, and then you have all these features, like you could put the crew into watch groups and divide them and have, like, what I have now is 3 watch officers which take turn, and then this stuff here about the tiredness, like you see Mr. Ahlers, he's completely tired, but it's not a problem because he's resting at the moment. Mr. Trammell is on the watch, and let me see, what time is it? At 10 o'clock there will be change of watch, and then Mr. Ahlers will take over again. And until then he will be nicely rested, hopefully. Yeah, pretty much love that. So let's do a little bit more time acceleration now towards the next hydrophone check. O'clock, that's change of watch. So now it's the watch of Mr. Ahlers, and he's an engineer, or well, actually my first mechanic, so he can care for the engines during his watch. And if I give him 2 additional hands from off watch, they even can kind of, they meddle around with all the settings of the engines and can make it save 30% of fuel, which is pretty important because I am very short on fuel on the other side of the Atlantic, so only the travel to the other side here brought me down to something like, what was it, 68% of fuel. So I just have a bit of margin out here for the patrol until I have to turn back home. And the point is, when you run out of fuel on the open sea, it's just game over. And the problem always is that you probably don't have a reload game. Yeah, there are milk cows. And I actually never have. I'm playing that game since something like, yes, since it came out actually 5 years ago, but intensely playing it since a year, 1.5 years, when it became really nicely playable. But I never had milk cows. And right now, 2 missions ago, the very first time, I got the accomplishment of milk cows, but I wasn't yet able to place it for some game mechanics reason. But in principle, I should sooner or later be able to place that milk cow somewhere around here and get there to refuel and also to restock my torpedoes. Yep. So on we go. Now it's midnight and it's foggy, so yeah, I'm playing with dark nights. I'm actually playing with almost maximum difficulty level. Part of that being that we have pretty dark nights. But yeah, that feels realistic to me. Only point is that I usually try to avoid night attacks.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Yeah, it's foggy, but yeah, at night we can't see the fog. Now 2 o'clock is the next change of watch. Now Mr. Grada, our Leitender, our chief engineer,
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
takes over the watch, and let's go for 1 more hour and let's do another hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 35 Meter.
So this is this standard workflow. So if you order hydrophone check, the crew, off-watch crew runs to the front compartment to give ballast. One of the officers or crew opens the valves, 2 crewmates manning the depth steers, and the ballast tanks being flooded. So all this takes a few seconds, a few tens of seconds.
Aktuelle
And then
5 Meter.
finally you go down.
Schraubengeräusche.
Ah, hey, great.
345 Grad.
So at last,
Herr Kapitän,
a large convoy closing in. So, wow. Let's mark it on the map. The convoy 01, the first convoy that we detect on the missions. The other guys were lone ships. I actually sank already 1 lone merchantman. I followed another lone merchantman here, but somehow it either slipped away or it was sunk by another German submarine before I could. Yeah, even if we have contact now, I finished the 5 minutes of hydrophone check, which is standard, just in case that we might get some other contacts. The weather is fine, so here down at, yeah, we don't go to 50 meters, which would be the standard, but it is 50 to 100 meters, so the crew plays it safe and brings the boat just to 35 meters, and down here we have this pretty large range of 49 miles with the hydrophone, being separated from the noises of the surface, and even them being pretty quiet when it's just something like 9 knots up there. Hi, Isley. Good evening. Nice to have you in. So, how have you been doing today? Hope you had a good day. Yeah, I already told Capital Cosmos that I actually did it, that I managed to unlock my very first milk cow, but yeah, due to the mechanics how you place it, I'm not yet able to make use of it. And I have the gut feeling that I'm not going to be able to make use of it during this mission, but for sure on the next mission. So, yeah, we got that contact, so now this is our next project. To snake infiltrate into that convoy and wreak a bit of havoc there. As I said, let's finish the hydrophone check. By the way, check the galley. And yeah, come on, let's make sure that we always have enough food there. Yeah, we could also place several types of food which would increase the happiness, the discipline of the crew, but also increases the overall amount of food usage. So when you place different types of food, the food usage in total goes up. But at the moment, with 98%, discipline is still perfectly fine. So don't need to take any measures. Yeah, we might have a bit of water in the bilge. Yeah, but 12 liters, that's as good as nothing. Yeah, that's uncritical. Doesn't mean that we have some serious leak. It's just like there is always dripping in, sipping in, leaking in a small amount of water as soon as you die. And even on the surface, particularly in bad weather, you always take a bit of water. Well, imagine that each time some crewmate opens the conning tower hatch, exterior hatch, gets out, gets in, and each time there is a bit of water coming in, and that's nicely heated, simulated in the game. Yeah, here we are. We already fired 2 torpedoes, and both of them did hit, and we sank that merchantman. That's where we got the yeah, 4,000, something like 4,200 tons was that. Okay, after 5 minutes, the crew brings the boat back to the surface, and here you see now Mr. Drummer opening the other valves, which now allow that we let compressed air stream into the ballast tank to push the seawater out to where it belongs. Hey, weight loss, good evening. How are you doing? Yeah, so we are on the final stretch towards weekend. I hope you had a decent week. How are you doing?
Wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, nice. Sounds good. That sounds pretty good. That would be pretty fine for me as well. Yeah, I could well lose some pounds just as well. If I would be honest to myself. Yeah, great thing. And yeah, great thing that the whole rig is working again. So here we are back to the surface. We just had a hydrophone check and recognized that contact.
Diese Koordinaten setzen.
So let's go flank speed. I think it was said to be medium speed, right? So let's assume that they are just going with ordinary 8 knots. What about us? If we now go flank speed after 1 hour, this would bring us 17 knots. Assume we go with 17 knots. 1 hour would bring us 17 miles onward. Yeah, 1 knot being 1 mile per hour. Wow. Wow, hey. So when did you restart again with your rig? Was it? It's not more than 2 weeks ago, is it? So that would be something like 5 kilos in 2 weeks. Pretty good. Respect. Hey guys, good evening. Just see the number of watches going up. Yeah, don't worry, you stay anonymous. But nice to have you in. Good evening. Hope you're fine. How are you doing? How was your week? And how do you like the game? Yeah, me actually being the biggest fan. Now time 3:10 at night. So go on till 4:10, and then we are gonna do a second hydrophone check to get a second data point on their position after an hour. And with that we can nicely figure out their course. Yeah, nice. Pretty good. Yeah, actually, how long was it now that your rig was broken? That was quite a few months, wasn't it? I mean, that was also your PC, so bit of a stretch of bad luck, I would say. So fingers crossed that everything is running perfectly fine now. And you already got your new headset, I understood. Your new VR set. So here we are. Well, that was their position an hour ago. Now let's see where they are now. One more hydrophone check, guys.
10 Meter.
So down we go. Yeah, still completely dark outside. It's 4 o'clock, middle of the night. Yeah, and the moving. Yeah, yeah. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, that's it.
Ja? Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 0 Grad.
Yeah, there they are. 0 degrees, which means we are heading straight for them. That's good. And that indicates that they are also moving straight for us, more or less. No, please. No, okay. So now they are here. So this now gives us a good guess of their direction, their heading. Convoy 1, and also of course of their speed. So that means might be that they're moving with 9, maybe 10 knots.
10 Meter.
Yes, that's the point. Every now and then you do this standard hydrophone check where the crew goes down to 50 feet, 50 meters, and you just listen for 5 minutes, and then you have this enormous range. Well, yeah, we know that sound travels across enormous ranges underwater, and so down there we have, now with this upgraded hydrophone that I have a radius of 90 miles, and I would, under good conditions, under good weather conditions, when there is not too much distorting noise from the surface, I would actually have 90 miles. Yeah, you can do it by yourself, but like at the moment I just have one of my radio officers or hydrophone guys at the hydrophone, so that's him. So he is actually doing that detection. You don't have to do all that manually. You can, if your crew doesn't give you reliable results, you could do it by yourself, like here. But yeah, you actually do get the support from your crew. You don't have to do all that. Okay, now we go on low frequencies for high range, for distant targets. So that's pretty tough to detect something on that distance. Yeah, we don't hear anything because we are back to the surface right now. So all we hear is just noise from the waves around. That's why we actually do the hydrophone check. Yep, yeah, that's right. That's right. Same for me. Hinrich, yeah. So, Capital Cosmos, I think you know the movie by heart, right? My original captain actually died after a year or something in some action when we were attacked by airplanes, and so now our bosun, at that time bosun, Mr. Lamprecht, now is the captain. It's, wow, hey, look, we are pretty close to the surface. We are still doing the hydrophone check. I was confused because we are only at 7 meters. That's because it's so very shallow around here. So if you look at the map, you can have a mouse over, and then here you see the depth according to the map. So it's only 20 to 50 meter, and that's why the hydrophone
Anblasen.
is, yeah, giving us not the optimum information, but still our hydrophone officer, Mr. Hinrich, he's very experienced, and so he actually figured out the target.
Flügelmotoren wechseln.
So now we have this.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
We have successfully extrapolated their course and interpolated their speed, 9 to 10 knots. They are going this direction, and now this is the perfect boundary conditions to actually intercept the guys.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Now let them go for another something like 10 miles, and us in the same time we would go 17 miles in 1 hour. And yeah, it might even be that we run into them at dawn, and I pretty much like a dawn attack. I never liked night attacks, but I pretty much like to use the first light of the morning. Yeah, at the moment 20 past 4, it's still completely dark. Let's see if we see any hint of the rising sun already. Nope. Nothing yet. What about the weather? Yeah, the weather is clear. So we see here that we have a clear sky, no clouds, but also no moon. If the moon is up, that actually gives you a bit more lighting. So if you would actually do a night attack, you would like to have the moon up. Best a full moon, because that really makes a difference. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, same for me. I'm so curious. On the Type 9, but like I used to say, on the other hand, I'm a bit frightened, because when the Type 9 comes out, I will have to make a pretty difficult decision and consider whether first continuing this campaign here, and I spend a lot of time into this campaign, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as this upgrade is online, the old save games wouldn't work anymore. Yep, that's right. Long range and more torpedoes and stuff. I mean, that's so great. You really have two completely different U-boats already in this game. So all the interior and everything, all the modeling, you already have a Type 2. And the first half of the game up to now, for the first year or something, I did play in the Type 2 until I got upgraded, promoted to be the captain of this Type 7 here. Ah yeah, the external torpedo reserves, yep. That will be great. Same crew size? Ah, okay. Would have expected that it would be a larger crew, actually. But maybe they get problems with the performance or something when they increase the crew. But yeah, you told me that there are mods actually already now where you can increase the number of crew. Yeah, because we all know that in real life the crew of such a submarine was even more. Not only 7 officers and 20 hands, but I think in total it was something like more than 40 people on this type of U-boat, right? That would be some kind of mod that I would otherwise also consider to implement, to have a realistic amount. Yes, yeah, less offices and more petty offices, right? But quite a bunch of petty offices, I guess.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
So
Kurs auf diese
one
Koordinaten.
more. Let's give it a save. Better safe than sorry. Yep. So on we go. We are closing in on that large convoy. One hour. Here we are. I think I would like to do one more hydrophone check to actually confirm. So now we have 1 data point, 2 data points, and we all know that there is quite some uncertainty in the position determination by hydrophone. And this is actually heated in the game, which I quite love, this uncertainty. So you never know things 100% precisely, and that's nicely done in the game. Yeah, that takes some brain, I think. I mean, if you do programming, if you write a computer program, everything is determined and everything is precise. So it really takes some brain, I think, to put some realistic fog of war into such a simulation like this one here. Yeah, it's still dark, I guess. Maybe. Any first hint of sunrise in the east? No, not really. Not really yet. At the moment, I do have the feeling that the day is asymmetric. And that would kind of, mean that we are still at Greenwich time on our chronometers, but on the other hand, it's not that asymmetric. So around here, I think we should already have something like 4 or 5 hours of time difference, time shift, and that's definitely not the case. Yeah, let's see when we get sunrise. I think at sunset was at after 7 o'clock in the evening, maybe even 8 o'clock, not quite sure. Let's see when we actually do get the sunrise. Good opportunity now to check that. Crew is at 98% of happiness. It's still March, so sunrise should be maybe something like 7 o'clock or later, and the same in the evening. But yeah, my feeling was when I checked it now, just last evening, in-game last evening, that it was, the sunset considerably later than I would have expected it to do. And that was something that Weight Loss and me were discussing these days. When you travel across the Atlantic with a ship, the question always is if you state a time, whether it's Greenwich time, like Greenwich Mean Time, or whether it's the local time. And yeah, weight loss. I think you said that you think it's some kind of not 100% consistent, but more something like a local time, right? Yeah, however, so this is maybe one of the very few things which are not yet completely thought through in the simulation, but maybe it is, and I just don't grasp it. Yeah, I would love to have more kind of navigation features in the game, so that you wouldn't have your position on the game, but on the map, but would have to calculate it by yourself, determine your position with the sextant, and by that reckoning, and with a chronometer. That would be something that I quite liked if you had that in a kind of maximum difficulty level. Yeah, but to make a short story long, long story short,
Achten auf 50 Meter.
let's do another hydrophone check to confirm that they are actually around here. And then we are, yeah, what would be our distance by now? We are still 16 miles, but another half an hour now would bring us into range of them. Hi guys, by the way, always see the number going up a bit. Great to have you in. So anybody of you guys, don't hesitate to participate in the chat. Even if it might sound like that, this is not a private chat. Don't hesitate to participate. Give your feedback on the game or on that stream, or just give me a hi, a thumbs up. Always love some interaction. Or, well, if you like what you see, maybe you might even want to give me a follow, which would make me so happy. Yeah, but yeah, don't feel pushed. Just watch anonymously if you want to watch. So lurking is perfectly fine. Just see that the number of views is going up. Makes me happy just as well.
Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 5 Grad.
There they are.
45 Meter.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
So roughly there. Yeah, so my dead reckoning seems to be not too bad. No, it's not a single, it's a convoy. Call it 01. That's also nice. Like, did you hear that? There was this command, and we hear it very muted, because when you're on this station here, you have your headphones on. Yeah, there it was. Now silence. And now we hear something. We hear something. And now silence again. But you have to be pretty bright to actually get that.
50 Meter.
So there they are. Pretty exactly where I predicted them to be. So looks like we are pretty well informed about their speed and about their heading, which is what you need to finally get a good torpedo solution when you move in. There is a tool to determine the speed via the periscope, but that's pretty weird. I don't think that it ever produces good results. So best thing is to determine the speed of a target front up with hydrophone checks, and then you can manually put it into the solution. Yeah, and for the angle on bow, it's also very comfortable if you have a good picture of their heading. So now we need everything. We have everything that we need for a smooth attack. Let's just finish the hydrophone check just in case that there with some other ships around. But yeah, hopefully we can fulfill the mission by infiltrating that convoy. That will be quite some nice action now. Yeah, and Capitao Cosmos, what you see is that the game is definitely not arcade. So it's a smooth game. It has its lengths. It has a very high level of immersion. But yeah, you have to have a little bit of patience because you don't have kind of pre-arranged encounters or something, but it's all real. So you roam the sea, you do patrols, you actually have to hunt down your prey by hydrophone checks, go in, and then the whole thing just naturally develops. So no pre-defined encounter, something, but yeah, so, and that's something like, so each encounter is kind of different depending on from where you come, what time of day you have, and everything. The size of the target convoy. Yeah. Yeah, if you hear me talking, you might think that I am part of the public relations team of the development studio, but believe me, I'm not. It's just that I'm so fascinated by the game. Yeah, maybe I should call these guys and ask them for some incentive for me doing all this advertising for the game.
Gewartet.
Yeah, like yesterday I've been streaming. Since quite a while I did stream DayZ again. And the fun thing was that there were fewer people watching me on Twitch, but yeah, I'm streaming in parallel on YouTube. And there were much more people watching me on YouTube. Yeah, pretty interesting. However, my main platform is Twitch, and I'm just doing this streaming on YouTube in parallel. Yeah, just for fun, because my streaming software actually allows me to do it. And so it's nice to share what I do also there. Hi guys from YouTube, nice to have you in. So if you're pissed off by the small format which I stream, yeah, well, you would have to switch to Twitch, and there I'm streaming in full window, full screen,
5 Meter.
decent quality.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, there we are. Now half an hour, bring them there, and half an hour would bring me there, and then our distance would be just 3 miles, and in half an hour it's still completely dark. Yes, yep, I have to, because meanwhile the convoys are pretty well protected. So if it's a large convoy, meanwhile it's really systematic. So if you have the all the merchants moving in something like that, then you really have a chain of destroyers all around the convoy. And And it's pretty hard to actually even infiltrate into the convoy. So the last encounters I had with large convoys was like when there were, I don't know, something like 15 or 20 merchantmen. It might well have been that there were something like 10 destroyers distributed all around them. Yeah, but in the past I actually managed to somehow get in and sink 1 or 2 ships in such an action. Fingers crossed that it does work again. Give me another save. Just in case that something goes incredibly wrong. I usually don't reload if just a few things go wrong. Like what I said, at one point I lost my captain and I decided to carry on to keep kind of a high realism level. I said, okay, fuck it. He's gone. He went overboard actually when we were attacked by an airplane. While we were just about leaving port, there was a big air raid onto the port. But, well, if really bad, yeah, if shit hits the fan, and I used to... Don't remember. I can't tell actually. I don't know. Isn't it always the same airplanes that do the air raids on the ports? Weight loss, I don't know. Could you answer that? I think there are actually 2 different types of planes in the game. The Sunderland, and what is the other one? I don't remember, to be honest. Yeah, you have these massive air raids at ports where you have something like 10 airplanes attacking at the same time. But as long as you're on the open sea, this is a bit of a drawback in terms of programming. In the open sea, it's always only just 1 airplane. 1 or, I don't know, maybe maximum 2 airplanes attacking you at the open sea. And that's no match if you put your officer onto the air gun. They easily shoot it down. Ah, yeah, that was the other one. I think that's the other one, yep. Six o'clock.
Navigation besetzen.
Yeah, let's send the captain to the bridge to take a look out. And our officer of the watch now, Mr. Trommel, our bosun, he should care a bit about the navigation correctness.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
6 o'clock. Still pretty dark, I guess. Or do we have a first hint of sunlight? Yeah, actually we are coming from the wrong direction, because with the rising sun in the east we would be illuminated for them while they are still in the dark for us, like we are attacking from the east. Yeah, but they must be right in front of me. Could be just something like 3 miles, so I think would be a good point at this to dive.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Auf See.
Yeah, let's go for periscope depth. It's a bit too early. Maybe I should follow their course. For something like an hour until it gets a bit of daylight. That would be a good plan, I think.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Bestätige.
I know that they're there.
Herr
So
Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe.
if I go due
Augenblick eingesteuert.
east,
Seemotoren wechseln. Alarm! Konvoi in
Los
Sicht.
geht's, Männer.
Peilung.
Lasst uns einige Schiffe versenken.
355 Grad.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
well, they must be close then. Do I really want that? Okay, you can step away from battle stations for now. And I want to have Mr. Arlos at the engines
Motoren besetzen.
so that I can go flank. How fast? I think if we are underwater, we could well go 10 knots when we go flank.
Ja.
Let's hide the periscope for now. Would just like to have a bit more daylight for the infiltration. But shit, looks like we can't go much faster than 8 knots while we are submerged. Yeah, but we are still turning. Turning always breaks you down, speeds you down. Now let's see what happens when we are going straight ahead.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Yeah, 9 knots. And if we would go for 1 hour now, you would end up there.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, I think we need that. We need to do that. I want more daylight before I actually go into the convoy. So now let's do a bit of time acceleration here.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet. Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Yeah, 10 knots, that's good. Okay, still no hint of a rising sun. Come on. Yeah, but yeah, you were completely right. It's just March, yeah.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
let's carry on
Pedorohr 2
until...
gewartet.
Yeah, that's good. He's doing the maintenance of the torpedo tubes. That's what we need. Yeah, the point is that a well-maintained torpedo has less probability of becoming a dart. And this is why it's so important that before firing a torpedo you must make sure that it is well maintained. Well, come on, there is still no hint of a rising sun. One more hour. Yeah, let's go for another half an hour and then see what the situation
Pedorohr
actually
1
is.
gewartet. Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Ja?
How could it be that they're down there?
Gewartet.
Is it an artifact? Okay, the moon is up, but it's a very faint moon. And still, come on, still no hint of the rising sun. Yeah, nevertheless, let's go for another half an hour.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Yeah, come on, yes, get up.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Rise, rise.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
And still. Okay, there we have the first faint hint of the sun coming up. Yeah, come on, let's give it a save and then go in.
Ja?
So it looks like they have changed course.
Kurs setzen.
So that was now half an hour, I think, from here to there, half an hour.
Herr Kapitän?
Yeah, okay, the moon is shedding some light. The sun is announcing its rise, but the targets are in pretty complete darkness. So this course looks different to the one that I first extrapolated.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Yeah, good. Good job, Mr. Schneider.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Okay, there they are. Quite some distribution.
Los geht's, Männer. Lasst uns einige Schiffe versenken.
Yeah. Yeah, nevertheless, don't want to have the alarm. But at that point in time, please, let's go for silent running to make sure that they don't hear us. Let's send our chief engineer to support the depth keeping. So that means that he supervises the two guys at the depth steers, and this improves the depth keeping, which should prevent us broaching the surface. I think in the darkness it's relatively uncritical, but nevertheless, you never know. There they are. Well, now it looks more like this is their course and not the course. So, might it be that they have changed course? So that's hard to tell by now. Maybe I should use the other periscope actually.
Ja. Bestätige.
Hey, Captain. There he is. So good thing is about that periscope that we have these filters. Ah shit, we are a little bit too deep, obviously.
Handelsschiff. 20 Grad.
20 degrees.
15 Grad.
15 degrees. Yeah, come on. Now we are really starting our infiltration.
Handelsschiff. 20 Grad.
Yeah, this one can't be connected to the targeting computer, but it can give us this. Nothing to be seen at the moment. So, guys, allow me to be AFK just for 1 minute. Let me pause the game. Don't go away, we are just in the final approach. Thanks for your patience. And yeah, even a few more guys in, so let's carry on in this final phase. Yeah, I don't see anything. Don't see any smoke column. I should actually see it.
Handelschef, 25 Grad.
25 degrees. So it must be there. But I don't get eyes on it. Hey, come on, let's switch to the attack periscope again. Problem is that we don't have any filters for the periscope. $10, $20. I think I see some smoke there, but well, it pretty much looks like they have changed course, doesn't it? There they are. So this might become a bit of a chase. I'm not in an optimum attack position, I have to admit. Because it's pretty clear that the guys did change their course. What about these guys? Let's mark them on the map.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloi. Herr Kapitän.
And they are closing in by now. They are really closing in. That must be them, is it? So what is the distance then? One, hey, just one more there. Oh shit.
Wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger um. Handelschef, 40 Grad.
Oh no, they spotted us. Oh shit.
Handelschef, 55 Grad. Handelschef, 65 Grad. Zerstörer, 70 Grad. Handelschef, 70 Grad.
Shit. Okay, that guy is at, what is it? 60 degrees.
Handelschef, 50 Grad. Zerstörer, 65 Grad.
That's another. So to destroy us.
Zerstörer, 85
They're
Grad.
going after us. It's just too dark. It's just fucking too dark. Maybe I want to sink that one. Velocity, I don't know.
Handelschef, 60 Grad.
Have it 12 knots. And let's see, they might be following us. And I think I'm gonna fire a stern torpedo, a sound-seeking stern torpedo. Yep, I should. You're right. That's so fucking close. Let's just hope that there is nobody approaching us from the hiding over there. So this is one. That's the other. That guy. I would like to think if it's a Corvette, it's 7 meters. Let's see. So it's what draw do we have there? 4. If I give it a draw of 4 meters, whatever ship it is, a draw of 4 meters for the torpedo depth should be all right. Their angle on bow on us should be more or less 0. And the distance, let's have it something like 500 meters. And now, yeah, they are still not abaft of us. So I couldn't fire a stern torpedo on them. Then that's what I would like to do. Giving them a stern torpedo. What's the maintenance condition of the stern torpedoes, by the way? Ah, fuck! What is this? Why don't... Oh, is this a bug? Or did I forget to load the stern torpedo tubes? Or did I... Nah, I didn't... Oh, shit. Ah, come on, I don't have any stern torpedo tubes loaded. And I think I didn't fire one, so I must have been completely stupid having not reloaded them. Back at port. Oh no, I would need them right now. I seriously need them right now. What about the 4 torpedoes?
Kommandant, wir wurden von Esting geortet.
Whoa, there he's coming in. He is coming in hard on us. And this is another. And it's just too fucking dark to actually get any aim. What is this guy? Maybe I could. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is pretty hazardous, actually. They are at 50 degrees. And if they are moving on the course like that, roughly the angle on both would be 23, 25.
Wir wurden von Esting geortet.
Something like that. Velocity 9. Probably, but I still... Yeah, I cannot yet determine what these guys actually are. That guy is going after us. Whoa, fuck. They got us. Ah, sorry, I can't. I have to get away. They're going for us. We are pretty fucked if I don't dive right now. distance. Shall we try a lucky shot?
Kursunterlagen aktualisieren. Geschwindigkeit 9 Knoten.
Shall we
Lager
just
2.
try
Bug links.
a
Entfernung
lucky
zum Ziel
shot?
2000 Meter. Rohr 1 bewässern.
Zerstörer, 50 Grad. Kommandant, wir wurden von Estig geortet.
Los. Rohr 2 bewässern.
Rohr 2 bewässert.
Los.
Yeah, that's a lot of lucky shots that I'm taking here. Maybe a waste of torpedoes. I think I need to dive by now.
Auf maximale sichere Tiefe gehen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 10
Ja.
Meter. Zerstörer, 50 Grad.
Yes, we have to dive quickly.
Wir wurden von Estig geortet. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg.
E-Motoren besetzen.
35 Meter. 30 Sekunden.
Auf Gefecht.
Okay, guys. Now we are gonna get some beating.
Verstanden.
Definitely.
Sie ist als erledigt, Herr Galopp. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 55 Meter.
Ich benötige hier etwas.
Wow, wow, wow.
Einschlag. 30 Sekunden.
So that was 2 lucky shots. And I used these FAT torpedoes, so they are gonna do some meandering. They heard Rich Henry's farts, yeah. Yeah, another nice quote, yeah.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a hit. Just can't be. Can't be. That was such a lucky shot.
85 Meter. Kommandant, wir wurden von Estig geortet.
Tauchen auf 130 Meter. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Having changed course. So now. Yeah, that was a pretty bad approach. Yeah, and it was actually just still too dark. Too dark for a decent attack. I should have, yeah, waited a bit longer until sunrise. But that's it.
Aktuelle Tiefe 125 Meter. Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
shit. So, guys, flank speed.
130 Meter. Wasserbomben.
They're dropping depth charges.
Tauchen auf.
Yeah, let's get
50 Meter.
deeper. Flank speed and dive. They wouldn't hear us when they're right above us. We are camouflaged by their noises of dropping and noises of propellers.
135 Meter.
Yeah, they are dropping on us like hell. Ah, shit, we are making loads of water when we go that deep and go on flank speed.
Sehr nah. Sehr nah. 150 Meter.
Oh, shit. It's 166 liters in the bilge. Let's go to manual depth planes.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah.
Sehr nah.
Oh shit. Still.
Schneller, schneller.
But yeah, they're dropping. They
Feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
might be soon.
Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden.
Might be soon out of depth charges if they continue dropping like that. But we are running into trouble.
Verstanden, Herr
Having
Kommandant.
just too much water in the bilge if we carry on that depth and with that speed. They're right above us. Yeah, it's still uncritical, but it is increasing too fast. The water in the bilge, I mean.
Aktuelle Tiefe 145 Meter.
Tauchen auf 120
Let's
Meter.
get it up.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger.
Let's get up a bit. I have to reduce the amount of water seeping in.
140 Meter.
Okay, there is a slow moving transport passing by above us. You hear that? Whoop, 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 whoop.
130 Meter. Raupengeräusche direkt über uns.
Schneller, schneller.
Yeah, let's make a perpendicular change of course.
Welche Entfernung?
Oh, that's good.
Sehr nah.
Depth charge in
20 Meter.
considerable distance, they said, so they are dropping maybe on another German submarine. Ah, shit. That wop wop sound was just a slow moving man of war, obviously. Oh, fuck.
Scheinwerfer beschädigt. Funkrohre sind beschädigt.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we got some injuries. So at that point, it's always a good idea to stop. Are we taking water? Maybe not. Maybe not. What do we have here? Mr. Schneider, what are you doing? Yeah, let's assume he's doing the right things. At the moment, it looks like we are not making any water. No hull breach, yep. That's what it looks like. So, sorry guys, I see that I get the message that there is an ad starting in a second, so let me be AFK over that time and let me pause.
Leuchtgerät nicht mehr einsatzbereit. Irgendwo im Offiziersraum.
Okay, I'm never sure about these messages about the ads. Is it already done? So now what we have to do is it's not a full pause. Have I? Oh shit. So we got more. Alright, thank you very much. So where do we have it? Where do we have the hull breach? Okay, when I was AFK, right? So where is it? Whole. Okay, he must take care for that one. And somebody should take care for the injured. So why don't I get the... So 2 injured guys. But both of my radio men are obviously not offering me the option to help these injured guys. Why don't I get that option? Why don't I get that option? Oh fuck. Oh yeah, now they... Ah shit. And the starboard side. Mr. Schneider, where are you? Oh fuck. They're really giving us some beating. Mr. Schneider. Ah, okay, there they are. Gotta turn on the pump now. Fuck it.
Lenzpumpe einschalten.
Hey, it's increasing. The flow rate is increasing. Hey guys, are you not working on that one? It is getting in more and more water. Please, guys, stop it. I have to blow the tanks. Do I? We are really getting trouble in terms of compressed air reserves low. Why could that be? What's our compressed air reserves? Hey, they are still alright. In a blaze of glory, yep. I really have to get to the boat to it just, yeah, completely right. Just making too much water and I'm like stopping. It's getting more and more. Okay, guys. Okay. Ah, shit. Any trouble with that one? The upstairs station is damaged. Fuck. Fuck it. Sorry for the strong language. Yeah, the valves need to be repaired. I can't blow because the valves are damaged. What are you telling me? Walter Kraus managed to stimulate Walter Reitenbach, but due to a broken leg he is not able to work at the moment. But what are you doing? We are losing buoyancy, aren't we? Yeah, we are drop-in pumps are running, but let's still get more. Let's get... Fuck. I should change course again. So it looks like we're getting the hole under control. No, we aren't. Just aren't. The valves are available again. Blow the stern tank. Just ballast, blow all the ballast tanks.
Notauftauchen, schnell!
Let's see if this... Hey guys! Feels like it doesn't make any difference. There it goes. And there we get some... Yeah, we are so deep, so it just doesn't work. When you're too deep, the compressed air pressure is not sufficient to press considerable water out of the ballast tanks. Yeah, guys, close the bulkheads. I should have done that before. Okay, very good. We got that. Yeah, we get a bit of water out, but not much. Not much. It does, right? Maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it. Let's check what else. What are the damages? What's the most severe damage that we have? And by the way, check the map. What depth do we have? 300 meters, 300 to 400 meters. Oh, yeah. So let's save this one in between. You're right, it looks manageable. Maybe we are gonna be able to do it.
Aktuelle Tiefe 165 Meter. Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Herr Kaloin, feindliche Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Yeah, alright.
Unseren Mut zu testen, Männer.
They do, but
Wasserbomben in beträchtlicher Entfernung.
some distance away. Are we getting the water out? Damage control. Hey,
170 Meter.
what about Mr. Grad? And also do damage control, please. We are still going down.
Notauftauchen, schnell.
Please, I want to get more water out of the ballast tanks. They are full again. How could that be? How could that be that the ballast tanks are again at 100%? Get the water out, guys. Get the water out. Get the fucking water out.
195 Meter.
Yeah, at that depth, the pump doesn't work anymore against. Anna! Shit.
E-Motoren besetzen.
So that was stupid.
210 Meter.
Was just pressing the wrong button and telling them to flood the tanks again. Ah, don't do it, please. Please don't. That looks relatively dry.
225 Meter.
We are dropping. We are fucking dropping. Our buoyancy is just... Hey, come on. I have to load at that point because I just pressed the wrong button. Yeah, weight loss, gonna try that one. Gonna try that one. Let's see if we can make it like that. So at least this is not gonna be an instant death. Hey, Capitão Cosmos, great. Thanks for the follow. That's so kind of you. That's very much appreciated. Improve the depth keeping. Dive planes to electric. Pump is on. Yeah, we are going flank speed, so this should also support us going to the surface. We are just having too much water in the front compartments. Yeah, you're right. No, don't worry. Not gonna press that. Let's see that we get the water out of here and out of here into the center. Here the pump is running, but the pump doesn't work much.
Aktuelle Tiefe 160 Meter.
There we were briefly going up. We were briefly... come on. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. What is the condition of the... Yeah, it's still 100%.
170 Meter.
Oh shit, did I? Then... I'm gonna load that one again. Did I? Ah, okay. You mean when I press to go to 50 meters? That's gonna... Yeah, you're completely right. Yeah, that's the point. Now I see what you mean. Yeah. Hi, Oblivion. Yeah, we are hunted for pretty tough. So the hunt is not like we are hunting, but we are actually the hunted.
Anblasen.
Here they are the hunters. They are, yeah, exactly. Yeah, now I see your point. Let's see if we can do it like that.
Feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
Bleibt wachsam. Aber kein
So,
Luftzielsicherung.
are we getting the water out? 85%. 87, 86. Get the water out. Get the water fucking out. Sorry. And maybe I would like to have somebody
Hecktorpedo repariert.
That's good. Yeah, come on, let's drop a pill. We are keeping 150. And then equalize. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get back to the surface completely. I just want to stabilize at, not at something deeper than 150. Yeah. And if I am at 100, it might be that the efficiency of the pump might also kind of be a bit more decent. Come on, bring me to.
Aktuelle Tiefe 150 Meter.
Yeah, we are getting the water out, but we are using a lot of compressed air. We are running out of compressed air. Yeah, it's great. It's a great game, definitely. I want you guys to turn on the compressor, please. Are we doing it? Doesn't look too bad. We really got some water out. Nice. Looks like we are in control again. Pretty much looks like we are in control again. Oh no, they got us again.
Aktuelle Tiefe 105 Meter.
Okay. That sounds interesting. I mean, it's not that famous, this movie. Gonna mark that. I actually watched the movie Greyhound not too far ago, but well, it was alright, but it didn't convince me. I'm a big fan of Tom Hanks, but that movie Greyhound, yeah, it didn't drag me into the immersion like I would have expected it, to be honest. Yeah, it's destroyers and corvettes, and they are British actually. Yeah, that movie, Greyhound, they tried to give it some kind of personal feeling, to kind of dive into that captain, but to be honest, I didn't take it.
Aktuelle Tiefe 100
Yeah, weren't they?
und
That was a bit weird.
geortet.
Kind of felt a bit unrealistic, yeah. Okay, we are still rising, so at that point now,
90 Meter.
I would like to... Do I really dare to flood? Ah, shit, I don't dare to flood the tanks completely. So maybe I go to 50. If I right now would flood the tanks again, I would start dropping again. Definitely. I would start dropping again. I don't know.
85 Meter.
Let me be AFK for 1 minute. Think about it. Be back in a minute. Yeah, now let's make a plan. Yeah, it takes a while for them to fill, you're right. And I just don't want to broach the surface. Yeah, and to be honest, I even just don't take that character development. It feels a bit like, yeah, they try, but they just don't get it. Yeah, they really try to kind of depict this, him being in command of that whole ship for the first time, and even for that. I think he's in command of the whole fleet of escorts, right? But still, I don't quite take it. Yeah, but now let's focus and that's just a bit of water, no issue. The electric compressor is on. We are, severely losing air quality. Of course. Now, what's the plan? We need to get that water out. Yeah, but that's hard to manage. There is even water in the conning tower, is it? Yeah, the problem is I don't have any compressed air resources left. And I'm thinking about maybe, yeah, just going back to complete silent run, turn off any system. Save the game at that point once more. If it doesn't work, I could always reload that like 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago. And what do I want to do right now? I want to have what's our buoyancy at the moment? It's 30%. Is this sufficient to keep level? Yeah, Oblivion, please don't take it personal that I'm just hunting out of the Canadian coast. So it's a game and it's the fascination of that U-boat warfare, but yeah, finally, of course, looking back, I'm happy that we lost the war and that you guys actually saved us from that madman. But yeah, nevertheless, the whole thing is pretty fascinating. But as I said, don't take it personal if I do this chasing in front of the Canadian coast. Yeah, let's see if we can actually do it. Let's stop the engine. Let's stop the pump. Let's stop the compressor. And go for 100 meters for now. Hey, that's nice. I mean, I remember that my father, he actually ran into garages in the neighboring countries around here. So, I mean, he was actually, yeah, he didn't like what his fathers did, and still, so he was pretty pissed off when he went to other countries around here. And people were always kind of wearing or carrying some grudge against him just because he was a German. But yeah, I know that, at least for me, I never ran into any prejudices against me just because I am a German. So I'm very happy that things have settled like that. Yeah, both of my grandfathers were in the Second World War. They both actually survived, yeah. The one actually lost one leg. But yeah, he only died in something like 2000 and something, at the age of 80. Yeah. Yeah, sorry to hear that, yeah. My grandfather, that's pretty unusual, but my one granddad, the one that I knew pretty well, he actually didn't have any brothers and sisters, which was quite unusual, I think, back then in the days. And for my other grandfather, I'm not sure, I don't know. I think he had brothers and sisters, but I have no idea what it was about them. I don't dare to stop the pause because, yeah, but
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
oh shit. Prepare for flank speed, guys. Fuck, they got us again. They just got us again. Oh, come on. What do we have?
70 Meter.
But no leaks at the moment, right?
Aktuelle Tiefe 80 Meter. Alle Maschinen stoppen.
Come on. Do we get away if we just keep silent? Oh shit, we are dropping.
Tiefe 100
We are... Can we keep that depth or are we dropping through? See? We are. We can't keep that depth.
125 Meter. Grenzpumpe einschalten. Elektrokompressor einschalten.
Feindliche Schiffe gehen über Land.
Das wird nicht einfach. Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben. Aktuelle Tiefe 145 Meter.
We don't have any much compressed air resources left, so we are gonna be fucked soon.
50 Meter.
Yeah, so your grandfather, great-grandfather was pretty lucky to get out of that in time. Oh shit, oh shit.
175 Meter.
Yeah, we are not getting the water out here.
Notauftauchen, schnell.
Yeah, we need some more emergency thing, but we just have barely 100 bars left to bring us back to the surface.
Aktuelle Tiefe 205 Meter.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Yeah, we are getting more water in than getting water out, actually. In the bilge. Can we?
210 Meter.
Ah, come on, guys. What about the compressed air? Do we have compressed air left? Yeah, we have. Oh, push the water out, guys. Please push the water out. I think it's too deep.
220 Meter.
It's just too deep around here. How much?
Sie mir die aktuelle Tiefenmessung.
Tiefe unter Kiel. 1.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna die before we hit the ground. We are definitely gonna die before we hit the ground.
230 Meter.
Yeah. We are not gonna make it. We are not gonna make it.
40 Meter.
Are we? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Guys.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Yeah, that's not our main problem at the moment. Whether we are detected by Aztec or not. We are going deeper and deeper, and we are gonna soon be crushed. Think, yeah, it doesn't look like we are gonna catch that one. 92. Guys, please push, push, push. We still have compressed air left. Okay. Come on, let's reload that one. Oh, man. Let's try it. Let's see if we can survive that. Yeah, it was, but that was alright, wasn't it? I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. Except for that they hear me. But I actually left that on purpose because I thought I need the compressed air. Let's see, where was...
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Aktuelle Tiefe 80 Meter.
Schraubengeräusch.
Get the water out, guys, yes.
60 Meter. Kurs setzen.
Don't turn off the pump, yeah. That's right.
40 Meter.
And here we are. Now, maybe that's the right point in time to go for, say, 80 meters. I don't want to breach the surface or I'm in dire straits. Very close. Oh shit. Oh fuck. There we are at the surface. Any leaks? No.
Hallo, wir wurden entdeckt.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Schuss, diese Jäger um. 85 Meter.
Yeah, let's change cars again. Yeah, but when I go to periscope depth, I still, yeah, I can't. All these destroyers and corvettes, they're just too close. They're gonna crack me.
Wir wurden von SD geortet.
Yeah, again, they are coming in on us. Can we keep that depth? I think we are dropping. Buoyancy is -10. Could be worse, But yeah, now the pump is actually working. That's good. It is really getting the water out. Buoyancy is still -10.
Wir wurden von SD geortet.
Yeah, let's zigzag. So it doesn't look too bad at the moment.
Tauchen auf. 100 Meter.
Let's give it a save. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe we're gonna do it like that. We just have to get the water out of the bilge. And it still does work. This compartment looks alright.
Aktuelle Tiefe 95 Meter.
Yeah, come on, sooner or later they must run out of depth charges, but yeah, it's just an enormous number of men of wars up there. Oh shit, we are really getting into problems with our air quality.
Aktuelle Tiefe 110 Meter.
So I should stop the compressor, the air compressor. That's really running down our air quality. Yeah, sooner or later they have to leave us alone and follow their convoy again. Hey, alright, that looks looks pretty decent now in terms of buoyancy.
105 Meter.
Okay, so who is going?
110 Meter.
Yeah, the pump is working, and we do have a bit of compressed air.
Kommandant, wir wurden gehortet. Schraubengeräusche direkt über uns.
Come on, guys, get the water out. Get the water out.
Tauchen auf 120 Meter.
Oh, fingers crossed. Come on, please. It looks so good. Please don't let us die from these depth charts. We are. Yeah. So what would I have to? On what duty would I have to put the officer, so that they would go for that?
Meter.
I wanted. What do I have to do so that the officers actually do it? Make one free? Ah, okay. All right. So if I do it like that.
140 Meter.
That's what you mean? Still a bit of water there. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit kind of, yeah, weird, I would say. .5 cubic meters. Let's change course again. They are just above us. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Maybe that's the point. One second, please. So I wasted a bit of time actually. Yeah, come on, let's open the bulkheads and see if it makes any difference. Oh yeah, now they are working on the water. Nice. Yeah, maybe it was the close.
Geräusche direkt über uns.
Tauchen auf. 150 Meter.
Wasserwolken in beträchtlicher Entfernung.
Yeah, okay, now we are so deep that the pump is not properly working anymore. But yeah, that can't be helped. I just want to be sure that we don't get
Aktuelle Tiefe 145 Meter.
hit by the depth charges. At least we get the water on that the other compartments are about to get dry again.
In beträchtlicher Entfernung.
So let's give it a save at that point and maybe.
Das wird nicht einfach. Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben. Alle Maschinen stoppen.
Just stop it.
Sehr nah.
Äußerst dicht. Voraus. 155 Meter.
Well, that is quite some tough action that we get here. Now these compartments are dry.
Aktuelle Tiefe 150 Meter.
That's it.
Meter.
Yeah. If I don't get another barrage of depth charge, it doesn't look too bad, yeah. Yeah, but to be honest, I never 100% understood how this, transporting water from one compartment to the other actually works. That was always weird, wasn't it? But somehow you get it done. The pump's running.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Yeah, and it's just like kind of Yeah, just kind of weird trying. You don't understand the concept. Yeah, right click to make the officer free of any order and then put them
Schraubengeräusche.
active
Direkt über uns.
by left click and then order them to do the bucketing. I don't know. Did we lose any crewmate? I think we didn't. Yeah, just one of the guys got a broken leg. Ah, okay. So this guy, Mr. Trouble, has an empty inventory.
Schraubengeräusche. Direkt über uns. Bomben. Sehr nah.
Mr. Trouble, why do you have the sausages with you? Please tell me that. Yeah, now a sausage. Yeah, that would be some nice late night dinner.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Come on, fingers crossed that they don't hit us. But we are pretty deep. 130 meters and the boat can do it. And we do have a... Hey, Mr. Arlos, please. Care for the engines, I want to go flank. We are slowly getting the water out. Yeah, tomorrow it's Friday. Friday is our pizza day, so each Friday I am gonna do some DIY pizza for the family. Ah, that's not the message. Okay, we got the water out. I don't know how, but we got the water out. Carry water to the bilge. Yeah, please do. There is still water there.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, let's be silent, but yeah, keep the pump running all the time, yeah. Good carnivore pizza, yeah.
Wir wurden von SD geortet.
Yeah, I usually do one salami pizza for our daughter and one bacon pizza for our son, and, well, changing subjects for my wife and me. What I pretty much like is the mixture of mushrooms, bacon, and how do you call it? The sizzle, this kind of yeah, don't get it right now. Not even in German. I remember the name. Artischocke, it's in German, but don't know how you would spell, pronounce, whatsoever. Call that in English. Oh yeah, that sounds good as well, yeah. Particularly the fried egg, this is what I quite like. Never try artichoke, yeah, that's the point. So that's, well, that was my favorite pizza, like many years ago when we went out in my hometown having a drink or two at the pubs, and afterwards go to that particular pizza guy, and he had this mushrooms, ham, and artichoke with lots of garlic and hot sauce, hot garlic and hot oil. I still remember the name of that one. It was called Portofino, was the name of that. Yeah, it was a takeaway pizza guy. And we went there after our, well, regular pub crawl back then.
Aktuelle Tiefe 145 Meter.
Direkt über uns.
Kurs setzen.
So, shall I?
Schneller, schneller.
Hey, come on. The guys might have been running out of depth charge, shouldn't they?
50 Meter.
I think it's still slowly reducing the amount of water we have. Nice, yeah. So we are doing fine in terms of buoyancy. Oh, come on. Not again. Not fucking again.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Give it another save.
Meter.
Depth 300 to 400 meters.
Sehr nah.
Schneller, schneller. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Depth charts. Fingers crossed that they don't get us. That they don't hit us hard. Come on, you can't do that. Very close. They still have depth charts. They must be running out of it. They must be running out of depth charge soon. Yeah, alright, he's getting the water out. I don't understand the concept in detail, but somehow I get the guys doing that, bucketing the water out towards the center. That was a bit of a hit. Oh shit, no, they are getting us again. Please, don't give me that again. Close the bulkheads. Who got injured? The captain? No, one of the sailors supporting the captain. And do we have any leaks? No leaks. No leaks yet. Come on.
Diese Koordinaten setzen.
Sailor is stabilized, very good. That guy probably soon too. Here we are. Mr. Forstmann, you got it. This is how ordinary sailors. That's how ordinary sailors actually get experience. Which I pretty much like, that concept.
Feindliche Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Das wird nicht helfen. Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Ruhig bleiben.
Wir wurden von Esti geortet. Schraubengeräusche direkt über uns.
We survived it for now. Still a bit of water in there. Yeah, we are really getting the stuff out. Yeah, I don't think that it actually does change anything. What you can do is you can promote them. And if you promote them to officers, then they already have a bit of experience. I think that's the idea. I actually never did it. Never promoted a crewmate to officer. Because you always get loads of experienced officers anyway.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Wow, they really give me some kind of beating. That's pretty tough. 36% of oxygen, that might become critical soon. Discipline, 95%. Maybe I should increase the variety of food, but at the moment there's no one cooking anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference when the guys are on alarm battle station. Hey, we are gonna be dry any minute. No water in any other compartment. These are dry. Ah, nice. Hey, come on, guys, look at that. We finally got all that shitty water out of the boat. Point is that our compressed air is, well, could be better, to put it positively. So at the moment it looks like we're gonna make it, and if I look at the time, I should have gone to bed an hour ago. Yeah, nevertheless, so great to have all of you guys in. So we had a constant of something like 10 people watching the stream. Thank you very much.
Wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Thank you very much for that. So much of a pleasure to have you. And if anybody of you is new in the stream, don't hesitate to put me some follow. But
Aktuelle Tiefe
don't feel pushed.
40 Meter.
It's perfectly fine if you just watch. Even if it's just lurking, perfectly fine. But yeah, as I said, I'm always happy to get some new followers because, yeah, that's why I do this one here. I'm just an amateur streamer, but it's always
145 Meter.
pretty nice to see that other people care what you do. Now let's give it another save, and then I really have to call it a day. Just getting so late.
140 Meter.
So let me see if it's worthwhile to kind of. No. No raiding tonight. So guys, it was a pleasure to have you. I'm definitely gonna stream tomorrow just as well. So looking forward to have you with me.
Wir wurden von Estik.
Capitao Cosmos, that was great. Thanks for the follow and thanks for participating in the chat that much. Always love to have that conversation like this. And yeah, weight loss. And it was a pleasure to have you in again, like usual. So yeah, let's go to bed. Have a good one.
Geräusche. Direkt.
And see you then.